the biggest things I remember is coming to the games and the atmosphere, and that's something that I think everybody remembers when they come to a Clemson game is what, how the fans react to situations, and just how exciting it is to be a part of it. And it's just I feel like once you're all, a Tiger, you're always going to be that way, and whether your family is or not, it's just something you have to experience to know about. Well, I talk to him on a consistent, everyday basis, and I talked to him a lot Saturday night after the game, and I talked to him a lot today about things that, the adversity we're facing here right now, and he said, the things that, like the factors that, especially how things are going for us right now, it's just, it's always how important it is, how hard it is to win a college football game, and it's never easy, no matter where you're at, whether you're at the best school or the worst school. You got to prepare more than you can explain. I mean, it's just so hard to win a college football game, especially these days with the recruiting and athletes and stuff like that. So he just reiterated how important it is that it hadn't changed since he's been here, and it was not going to change. I think the hardest part about losing is the ride home. It's just thinking about how hard you prepared and having to swallow losing. The fact of not accomplishing what you were set out to accomplish. I feel like especially around here, the offensive line, as hard as we've been working, it's hard for me to get on that bus and know that we didn't get the job totally done, and that's something that hasn't changed since I've been a freshman. The bus ride home and the plane ride home is always the hardest part. I think the best way to deal with it is to kind of, you're going to be quiet at first, obviously, when you're sulking about it a little bit. But I think the easiest way to get over it fast is to get back in the plane on the bus and talk to your buddies and stuff like that. And, these guys are some of my best friends, and talk to them about, what really happened in the game that we couldn't accomplish what we wanted to, and maybe talking about what we have in the future to get better on. I think that especially Saturday night, me and Dalton Freeman, the center, got together and we're just talking about what the things that we didn't get done, and I think that kind of helps me get by it, because when I talk about it, I put it behind me more. As big as as important as the fans are to the program, you kind of can't let them get in your way of your thinking and the way you look at games and stuff. Especially, when you're winning, the fans will make you feel like you're the best team in the nation. When you're losing, they'll, not all the fans, but certainly some of them will kind of be pessimistic about what they think that the season's going to wind up. And I think that you gotta be strong and not to read stuff like that. And I try, like you said, like Facebook and stuff like that, and networks online. I try to stay away from them, especially in bad situations, because there's a lot of talk and a lot of stuff I don't even care to read, and it gets pretty messy. And no matter who it's about, I take pretty good offense to reading bad stuff about my teammates. So I don't like to read that stuff. As much as I want to say it's the same as last year, it's a totally different team than last year's, and how this team comes out of it will be determined this week, obviously. But I think the big part of it last year is we went right into an off week last year, and we had 2 weeks to kind of regroup and get things back on track. This year is going to have to be done a lot faster. We got some people think that you got all week, but you really only have, tonight's not really a really physical get after practice. You got 2 really hard practices to get things where you need them to be, and I think that it's very possible to get this thing back on track, and I think it's just going to take a lot of leadership and a lot of guys stepping up to the plate and doing what's expected out of them. Yeah, since I've been here, they've been a thorn in our side, really. It's been unbelievable to get past. You kind of find yourself looking at, they're not, the last couple of years they haven't been the best team in the conference, they haven't been the worst team. They've been that team that won't go away for us. And, to make them go away, you got to beat them. And the only way to do that is to prepare the best we can do this week and do everything possible to win. Like I was saying earlier to those other guys, taking it one game at a time and not thinking about, playing Florida State or none of them other guys that's going to come in here. It's just about beating Maryland.